Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another divisional preview of the OOTP Legends League Year 3, but now it's moved to OOTP 24 instead of 22, and with 60 teams involved. Every franchise's greatest team, greatest players on one team happens. You know, you see Derek Jeter and Babe Ruth on the same team with the Yankees, all that, and seasonal teams such as the 1993 Toronto Blue Jays will get a chance to do it, as every team will get a seasonal matchup. So this is the AL North. Now, I made 5 divisions of 6 teams per league, American League, National League. So the AL North poached Detroit and Minnesota from the AL Central, and the Blue Jays Legends from the AL East. So they'll be in the North, and there's 3 seasonal teams too. First, let's talk about the Detroit Tigers Legends. Ty Cobb, the Georgia Peach, the stolen base leader and supposedly racist person at center field. Charlie Gehringer at second base, the Gray Fox, I think that's what it was known, or it's Gray Eagle, I can't remember. Hank Greenberg, great first baseman, sweating home runs all the time. Will play first base. Norm Cash, DHing. Harry Heilman in right field. Al Kaline in left field, lifelong Tiger, over 3,000 hits. Darrell Evans at third base, he's a good power hitter. Alan Trammell at shortstop. And Bill Freehan will be your regular catcher. Rotation, Justin Verlander is the ace of the squad. Very good. Picture of that. Max Scherzer will be number 2. So he's a pretty good pitcher as well. Jim Bunning, a guy who actually threw a no-hitter for the Tigers. And of course, this was before his perfect game in 1964 with the Phillies. He's number 3. Yeah, Verlander and Scherzer are still active in real life. Hal Newhouser, good left-hander for the Tigers, will be the 4th pitcher, and Jack Morris will be the 5th pitcher in the rotation. Good guy for the Tigers. And then he ended up winning a title both with Minnesota and Toronto. The bullpen, Willie Hernandez at closer. A very strong closer indeed. Mickey Lolich will be a setup guy. He usually is a starter as well, but he's in the bullpen this time. David McLean, also in the bullpen. He's a righty. He's a pretty impressive pitcher without the controversies. Joe Samaya in the bullpen. Todd Jones, a closer of the 90s for the Tigers. John Hiller, a Canadian from Toronto, actually had heart surgery and came back to pitch, which was amazing. And Mike Henman, good pitcher of the 90s. And let's do info about the ballpark. The Tigers will play at Comerica Park, the spacious Comerica Park that is. So I love Comerica Park. The 84 Tigers are playing at Tiger Stadium, but Tigers Legends at Comerica. Twins Legends, you see there, including members of the Washington Senators, because they were Washington before they moved to Minnesota in 1961. Become the Twins. Sam Rice in center field, great player for Washington. Rod Carew, second baseman, very good player for both the Angels and the Twins. Could have been another one, but he chose the Twins. Herman Killebrew will play third base, one of the best home run hitters of the 60s and onward. Justin Morneau, Canadian, at first base. Good job. Kirby Puckett will be in left field, icon of the 91 World Series, hitting that game-winning home run to force Game 7, which the Twins won. Tony Oliva in right field. It's number 6, retired by the Twins. Kent Herbeck, a power-hitting first baseman. He will be the DH. Roy Smalley, shortstop. And Joe Mauer behind the plate, recently minted Baseball Hall of Famer. The rotation, Johan Santana, very good player for Minnesota. He'll be the ace. Number 2 is Walter Johnson. Scary fastball and scary strikeout numbers by him. Bert Blyleven longevity the key. Dave Boswell will go fourth, although I would probably put Camille or Pascal for number 4, and Dutch Leonard will be number 5. The number 5 starter. Joe Nathan, longtime closer for the Twins. He will be the closer for the Twins Legends. Eddie Guardaro in the bullpen. Pascal, but it will probably be Boswell in the bullpen. I might guess. Glenn Perkins in the bullpen. 2, Jared Burden, Al Worthington, and Ron Davis. Twins don't really have much of a bullpen. So yeah, so I think we'll probably put Camille Pascal in for Boswell. Make Boswell a setup guy too. So yeah, we'll do that. Ballpark. The Twins will be playing at Target Field where they normally play. So yeah, so Target Field will be home to the Twins Legends. You know, that nice center field and all that. Pretty impressive and all that. Blue Jays Legends. I say they're all pretty good legends in their own rights. Roberto Alomar at second base. I know that it's a little bit controversial because of his allegations and all that, and the Blue Jays taking down his number 12 banner, but whatever. He was a good second baseman. Nothing can be denied about his Gold Glove work with the Jays for 5 seasons. Jose Bautista will play third base, so he's a very good player. That was the position he was basically with the Blue Jays when they picked him up off waivers from Pittsburgh. Joe Carter in left field, legend, and of course the hero of the '93 World Series for the Blue Jays with that home run down the left field line over Mitch Williams. Carlos Delgado at first base, great, powerful hitter for the Blue Jays, great player. Johnny Olerud will be your designated hitter, winning the '93 batting title, clutch and all that. He almost got the 400 average. Devo Devon White in center field, the man with that great catch in the '92 World Series that almost started a triple play, which it wasn't triple, it was double play. Sean Green in right field, great power hitter at the late '90s for the Blue Jays. Tony Fernandez at short. 4 different stints with the Blue Jays, or was it 3? I can't remember, but yeah, he was always there as shortstop for the Blue Jays. And Buck Martinez will be your starting catcher, which is kind of shocking. Well, to start with, the primary lineup. The rotation, Roy Halladay, Doc, the ace, deservedly so, winning the Cy Young with the Blue Jays and just being fantastic. Of course, his plane crash was the stuff of bad luck. Jimmy Key will be the number 2 guy. He was good for the Blue Jays. For years, the Jays couldn't have a left-handed starter win a game, but he changed all that with lefties. And he won Game 4 of the World Series in his final start as a Blue Jay. Dave Stieb will go third in the rotation. He was the Blue Jays' main pitcher for the '80s, and he was pretty good. No Cy Youngs for him, which sucked. He could have at least had one. David Wells, a couple of stints with the Blue Jays in his career, including early in his career, he was a reliever, and then he became a solid starter in the Blue Jays, ended up picking him up in the Roger Clemens deal. Pretty good lefty. And Juan Guzman, very underrated, especially '91, that he came out of freaking nowhere. Anyway, Dwayne Ward is the closer for the Blue Jays of the '90s. Controversial in a sense because Tom Hankey should be the closer, but whatever. Hankey's also a pretty good closer in his own right, the Terminator. Mark Eichhorn, the submarine pitcher. Pat Hankin in the bullpen. No, he could be a starter, but the Blue Jays have a decent front 5. Billy Koch, closer of the 2000s for the Blue Jays in the bullpen. Scott Downs and Casey Janssen, reliable out of the bullpen. So the Blue Jays will play here at Exhibition Stadium because the Skydome is used for the '93 Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays have only played in 2 primary stadiums. So Exhibition Stadium will be where the Blue Jays legends will have to play at. and all that. Yeah, the right field. I know it looks weird in right field, but that was because Exhibition Stadium was shared by the Blue Jays and the CFL's Toronto Argonauts, and of course, CFL fields are bigger than the NFL fields. It's 110 yards from goal line to goal line, whereas it's 100 for NFL. But yeah, Exhibition Stadium. Now the seasonal team, the 1920 Cleveland Indians. Now the rule was it had to be a World Series champion as your seasonal team, and if your franchise didn't win the World Series, then you can't do anything about it. I know there could have been like the 54 Indians or the 95 team too, or even the 2016 team. But the fact of the matter is, because this Cleveland team won the World Series, they are in. You have Ray Chapman at shortstop. This season will be done with the what if. What if Ray Chapman did not die by being hit by that baseball from Carl Mays? Cleveland still won the World Series that year, but still. Charlie Jamison is your left fielder. Chris Beaker in center field, former Boston star, then he went to Cleveland. Elmer Smith is your right fielder. Steve O'Neill catcher, Larry Gardner at third, Joe Evans DHing, Doug Johnston at first, and Bill Wamsnas, who had that unassisted triple play in the 1920 World Series against Brooklyn, at second base. The front five for pitching, Guy Morton, Albert Myers, Joe Bowling, Stan Kowalski, and Ray Caldwell. Jim Bagby is your closer, Bob Clark, Dick Niehaus, George Urey, George Allison, Tony Faith, and Tim Murchison are your bullpen. And the 1920 team will be playing here at Cleveland Stadium. I know it's not the 1920s style Cleveland Stadium, but it is a Cleveland Stadium as is, that fence cutting down the balls that had to go into the center field stands for a home run, all that. It was a good stadium and all that. Used for the Cleveland Browns as well. The 2001 Mariners are in the AL North. You have Mark McLemore at short, Ichiro in right field, the guy who came on the scene from Japan, won Rookie of the Year and MVP. Brett Boone at second base, great move by Seattle to pick him up. Edgar Martinez at DH, where he normally is. John Olerud at first base, shrewd move by Seattle to pick him up. Mike Cameron in center field, a very powerful hitter. Stan Javier in left field. David Bell at third, and then Wilson catching. It's weird how good the Mariners were in 2001. Yeah, they won 116 games to set the modern baseball record. But the fact of the matter is, they did it without Griffey, and they did it without A-Rod. Anyway, their front five, their rotation, Joe Pinero was made the starter. Freddie Garcia, Jamie Moyer, the ageless one, Paul Abbott, and Aaron Seeley. Arthur Rhodes, the closer. Kaz Sasaki, the setup guy. Should have been Rhodes as the closer, Sasaki as whatever. Norm Charlton playing for the 2001 team. Did he? I guess he did. Jeff Nelson, Jose Peniga, Brian Fuentes, and Ryan Franklin on that team. The 2001 Mariners will play here at Safeco / T-Mobile Park. And, Seattle's football stadium to the left. Pretty good stadium. That's where the 2001 Mariners played, and that's where they will play in this variation. And the 1927 Yankees are also in this division in the AL North. Bob Usil in right field, Tony Lazzari playing second, Lou Gehrig at first, Babe Ruth left field. Gehrig and Ruth were very powerful, 3-4 guys. Pat Collins, your catcher, Earl Coombs at center, Mark Koenig will play short, Joe Duggan, your DH, Mark Casella at second. The rotation, George Pipgrass, Dutch Roofer, Urban Shocker, Wait Hoyt, and Herb Pennick. And the bullpen, Willie Moore. The closer is Bob Shockey, Royals Thomas, Walter Beal. Why is there two Joe Girards? Is that there or not? There's two. Why is there two Joe Girards? I have to delete one. I have to delete the one. Yeah, I have to delete the 1. So what does that mean? That puts 5. We need 7 people at the moment. So the 27 Yankees will actually pick up a few more players. I'll find a team and all that. But ballpark, let's edit. They will play at the 50s style Yankee Stadium. I know that it could have been 1920s, but I thought the 50s looked good and looked clean and had, the feel of those monuments in center field that could cause a lot of trouble. Center field, I know, is 470 and all that, but hey, the Polo Grounds are also in this game. And of course, right field, left field 281, so you'll probably be seeing a lot of home runs if you see the 27 Yankees play. So I will fix that and get the 27 Yankees some players, some pitchers to fill out their bullpen, and that's how it will go. That's how it will go. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.